And Madagascar's military says it is in control of the country after the president was impeached while in hiding. He fled the country when a powerful military unit joined anti-government protest. The demonstrations were sparked by high unemployment and corruption allegations. At least 22 people have died in the unrest.
Drama and celebration in Madagascar at the impeachment of President Andry Rajoelina. Protesters in this northern town and across the country had been demanding his resignation for weeks. But they had a warning for his replacement.
It feels like we've just been released from prison. We know all the harm he has done. I'm truly relieved that Andry Rajoelina is no longer in power. This is also a message to his successor. Learn from this and don't make the same mistakes.
Moments later, outside the presidential palace in the capital Antananarivo, soldiers from the elite CAPSAT army unit left no doubt who was in charge now.
We have taken power from today, and we have dissolved the Senate.
The army also scrapped the top courts and electoral commission, and they set out a plan for what happens next.
What we will do is set up a committee or a council. This council will be composed of army officers, gendarmerie officers. I don't know. Maybe in time there will be senior civilian advisors in it.
The soldiers promise new elections within 2 years at least. The protesters shout, "Thank you, Colonel." The soldiers changed sides over the weekend and threw their support behind the Generation Z protesters. This youth-led movement had taken to the streets in frustration over water and power shortages weeks ago, and the demonstrations grew into unrest over corruption and poverty. But Madagascar's power struggle is not over yet. The president is in hiding, but insists he is still in power, and his office made a statement calling the coup a serious breach of the law. The United Nations says it's concerned about any unconstitutional change of power. It urged parties to work together towards a peaceful solution.
And let's get more now. We're joined by Gaëlle Borgia, Pulitzer Prize-winning journalist. She's joining us from Madagascar's capital. Thank you so much for your time. We understand Madagascar's military says it has seized power, but the country's president, who is in hiding, insists that he's still in charge. Who's running the country?
It's very difficult to answer this question, actually. If we believe President Rajoelina's statement, he's still in charge. He accuses the military of the CAPSAT of attempting a coup. And if we believe the High Constitutional Court, he's no longer in charge because they said he no longer lives in the country, so he cannot really be president anymore. What the MPs did is vote for his destitution on Tuesday morning. But while they were doing it, President Rajoelina issued a decree to dissolve the National Assembly. But he did this from abroad. So he tried to dissolve the National Assembly while he was abroad, and the MPs considered the decree, they considered it had no legal value because there was no stamp on the document, no signature, and it was saying issued in Antananarivo, whereas the president was already abroad. So it's now we're in the middle of a legal and it's very difficult to say if it's a coup d'etat or if it was if he was legally ousted.
And as you've mentioned there, I mean, the parliamentarians, they have voted to impeach the president following weeks of protest. Where does this process now go after this military takeover?
What the Colonel Michael Rajoelina said on Tuesday inside the presidential palace, he said, we are now in charge. We're going to dissolve the Senate, High Constitutional Court, almost all institutions, and we're going to create, we're going to set up a radical change. So that's they said there's going to be a referendum in 2 years' time from now. They're going to create a National Defense Transition Council, and they're going to be in charge until the new election. There's going to be a new government, a new prime minister will be nominated, so everything will change, but this whole council will be temporary. The Colonel Michael Rajoelina is supposed to organize election within 60 days if we listen to a high constitutional decision.
We are also hearing that it's a special forces unit which is behind the spearheading of this military takeover. Can you tell us a little bit more about them?
CAPSAT military unit is well known because they helped President Rajoelina to take power in 2009. They were the one who supported him and who enabled him to become a president. They are also known because they are in charge of the ammunition of the army. The Colonel Michael Rajoelina, who is now head of state, was given a suspended sentence for endangering state security in 2023. So he was already a problem for President Andry Rajoelina. At the time, he was placed under house arrest. So he went to difficult times during Andry Rajoelina's mandate, and now he's seen as a hero by the protesters, by the population, because he helped protesters to go to 13 May Square to protest freely. He joined the popular movement, and now he's in charge. He's the interim head of state.
Gaëlle, Borgia, a journalist joining us from the capital in Madagascar. Thank you.